it's back, ready to give you guys more action. In the bottom right-hand side, we've got ourselves our red Protoss player. He is going to be herO, who we did not see yesterday because obviously he was the player to win his group and take a seed directly into the round of 8. In the top left, our blue Zerg Reynor did have to fight through the round of 12 yesterday, and it did not look like he was going to be here. If you did not watch Reynor versus QUARTERFINALS, you need to go watch this series. I think, honestly, Reynor QUARTERFINALS, Beyond versus Clem, 2 series yesterday that I think are probably going to be on my top. I'd probably say they're going to be on my top 3, but let's be safe and say top 5. Probably top 5 series of the year that I'm going to cast on this channel. They were absolute bangers. Both of those series were great. Part of the reason why it's been such a great tournament, those 2 series really lifted up day 1 of the playoffs yesterday and really hard carried. They were so good. If you did not see them, do yourself a favor, go watch them tomorrow, later today or whenever you get a chance, because yeah, they were both amazing matchups. Both amazing matchups as we have Catch, Gas, and Pool getting underway for our first few moments, a gateway building up. Reynor's been doing a lot of the Lingbane Hydra. Obviously, you know, Storm is a bit different, and a lot of the Zergs have been figuring out, hey, can I throw Hydra Lingbane at my opponent? It's been in a variety of ways. 50 drones, 60 drones. Some people have been doing the 85 kind of drone where it's not an all-in kind of in terms of economy, but it is all-in in terms of you are stuck on that tech and you're not teching out of it. Because it's been very Lingbane Hydra focused, we've seen a lot of the Lurker follow-ups as well, because that comes naturally from the Lurker Hydras. We've also seen a fair amount of Spires being sprinkled in with their new cost and the changes. Spires have been sprinkled in a fair amount as kind of follow-ups as well. So, just a few of the things you might be able to imagine seeing out of Reynor in this series. Obviously, he did take down QUARTERFINALS in the round of 12, but we did get to see a little bit of him against Classic in the round of 24 in the group stages. Not 24, round 20. During the group stages, he did obviously have a little bit of a showing there and gave us a good little bit of a sighting as to what was going on. And again, like I say, those were some of the things that we saw from him, and that was also combined with some of the other things we've seen in general from Zergs over the last few days. And it's been nice. We've actually had Zergs in this competition. We actually had Zergs alive all the way through to the round of 12. And so we've actually been able to see quite a lot of Zerg matchups and how Zerg is dealing with the meta changes as well, which is really awesome. Because, yeah, we had an absolute distinct lack of Zergs lately, so it's so nice to get some of them up and running. It's very, very nice. Obviously, herO is a regular here as well. herO, if you weren't here yesterday, if you didn't hear, yesterday herO was we pointed out that herO was a multi-time champion of the Team Liquid map contest tournaments. His streak got broken last time out. He won map contest tournament 9, 10, and 11. Which is obviously a pretty crazy streak, so clearly one of the guys that just vibes well with the new maps. Reynor, not one of the guys that played in a lot of these events, but has never made the top 2 even, so just little things to note. Obviously, Reynor, very accomplished and great player. And this series is just a great one because you've got 2 of the best players in the world right now going at each other. And honestly, I have no idea who's going to win out. I'm going to be slightly biased to Reynor just because I want to see the ZVP semi-final. You know, just trying to avoid the PvP, and that's literally the only reason I have a bias. Both these players are going to be great. Both of them could be great competitors. There is a world where if, like, herO wins, we maybe get PvP, semi-PvP final as well, so, you know, the less chance we have of the PvPs, so I will be slightly biased in my hope for Reynor in this one, as Twilight Council and a Forge come online initially. Just going to see the Spore Crawler going to be there, pinging the Oracle a couple of times, and pushing that away, up to the sides, up towards the corners, keeping that back for now. Was it close for Mixu to get out of the group stages? Mixu nearly made it out of groups. He went 1-2 against Zaun, and I actually think he had some winning opportunities in some of those games he lost against Zaun. If he'd been able to win another map there and win that series, I think Mixu would have indeed made playoffs, so, yeah. I've actually been, I mean, from what I've seen so far of this kind of new meta for ZVP, I actually really like it. I mean, throwing us back to kind of the Lingbane Hydra meta of days gone by, I actually always thought that was a really fun meta to kind of play in and watch for, so. These Zerglings moving about, if your Adepts moving about, we need some Zerglings to move about and come and deal with these Adepts. It is charging +1 on the follow-up. This is a build hero's done a fair amount lately, where you get charging +1 and he ends up just hitting with a ton of gateways and a ton of zealots, and if the Zerg is not prepped for it, it's very painful. Now, Reynor's playing a melee upgrade opening. That's not ideal against zealots, but what can be fine is if he adds on the Baneling Nest and if he has Banelings to help against the zealot wave. The question is he going to have that in time? Because it's not something we can, it's not something you can guarantee, say, is something that you kind of need typically at this point. You're going to get Templar Archives too, so might even have a couple of Archons if he does end up arriving with an attack some point soon. There's the Baneling Nest now. Obviously still a ways off that finishing, Morphing Banes, etc. See if Reynor can identify the aggression coming and be prepped in time for an attack of herO. If herO comes, I mean, what are we on? 4 gateways? It's not super crazy. It's not actually the super aggressive Zealot charge build that I was initially thinking. Templar Archive kind of takes us away from that kind of option. But it is still going to be Charge Lord Archon to begin with. Obviously, maybe even Storm, dare I say it. Early game here from herO as well. As the Templar Archive finishes, we will see the Oracle taking a bunch of shots, and the Queen's putting some effort in to make sure that Oracle ends up going the other direction. So making sure that that's not going to have a chance to stick around here. The Oracle is going to try and set up a cheeky little stasis ward over on this side. So that's going to charge on up, and actually going to be running straight in towards those Queens, and so Zealots, bit surrounded by the Lings. With the Queens here to support, this was fine. Actually, nice stasis keeps the Zealots alive. Well, I thought it would, but enough Lings apparently still chasing. Only 3 Zealots get out low HP, but good first defense from Reynor. You can obviously see the follow-up already building through with the Oracle moving about and reveling, but the main thing on the production tab is indeed Storm, getting very close to being done. That's obviously a big factor as well. Just taking another step across, we'll take a couple of moments to settle ourselves in here. Gonna see the Lings actually getting a chance to jump on top of some of the rocks over there too, and now the +1 missiles, Baneling speed, and the Hydra speed all continue to come out as well. The Lings trying to get themselves on top of a few Zealots here and just seeing if they can make a chance to get on top. No opportunity just yet, as we just have a little bit of moving around. Bane Hydra going to come back the other way. And we're going to see a nice little Storm coming down. A couple of Storms coming down here as this army wants to jump on top of these High Templar. Storm's going to obviously persist for a little while, giving these Hydras a chance to kind of, be held back. One more Storm comes down there in the end. I think Reynor's really eager to maybe get a couple more of those High Templar there. This is 80 drones, and obviously Bane speed about to finish, +1 missiles about to finish. Things getting better. Good split from Reynor, dodges that Storm. Takes no damage from it, apart from a couple of Lings that end up running in accidentally. In the end, we're going to drop one more Storm. We force a lot of the Storms already. Okay, this is huge. By morphing the Archons, you're basically not going to have Storm building up on those High Templar, and that means that we might have a chance to just break through here as Reynor, but he's also just getting pushed back at the same time. Did this cost him a little bit too much? Was herO just about okay in the end? Maybe he indeed has been just about okay. I think that is actually the true situation at the end of it all. +3 attack coming up, the Mothership and the High Templar building through. We add on the Immortal. And I think it's fair to say that this is indeed looking as though we are going to have ourselves a Reynor kind of held away. But it's not done yet, because this is still kind of the mid-tierish tech on both sides. The Mothership will definitely be a helping hand from herO, as Reynor is just setting up for another big wave of Bane Hydra. 3 High Templar only on the map, which is not a lot. Reynor will have to pull back and deal with this Prism play initially before he tries anything else here. So that's going to be step 1 of these next few moments. +2 missiles is setting up. A couple more Storms coming down. The Baneling's trying to reach forward. There are more High Templar available with Storm Energy. The Bane's from the other side, but not enough of them connect. I'm going to say those Hydras are dangerously clumped as the Archons play the chasing game. The Zealots on the other side. The Queen's trying to get rid of the Prism, but it's not happening. The Prism lives. And the few extra Zealots continue to make their way through. Reynor is going to get here. They will play cleanup nicely. Actually preserves the Banelings as well, which you gotta love, right? Just making efficiency happen. Keep those Banelings for aggression. I just don't know if the aggression is going to work out. With a mothership now available, upgrades are still steamrolling through from herO as well on his way to that +3 attack upgrade. I don't know if we've just already seen Reynor have enough shots at this and just not get it done. The Hydras that are arriving for this next fight as well are now battered and bruised, so they're not even high HP to go into this, which is going to make those storms even more deadly because we're so close to these Hydras just falling off already. So that part of this is also just extremely scary at this moment. A couple of Lings getting busy, Zealots going down. You see the +3 attack upgrade building up on the Forge as well. So again, like I say, that final upgrade up for the attack for the Protoss. I like this a bit from Reynor, kind of coming around that right side and maybe just ignore the Nexus there and just try to get straight to the army. Funnily enough, herO kind of moves forward and attacks onto the creep a little bit, which is a pretty brazen play. Reynor does cancel the 5th base. As herO steps forward, I mean, you actually really do open the chance of maybe coming in from both angles, or maybe just kind of turn this into harass on the bottom side, because herO was not nearby to play defense at all. It's the supplies that we don't love for Reynor. Infestation Pit will start from him. He's got to try and scrap his way out from a pretty difficult position at the moment. herO just wants to, I mean, herO needs to be, honestly, just, it feels nice to kind of move out if you're confident, but at the same time, this is a composition right now which gets better for you as time goes on, because Reynor's about to be playing maxed out, so as you wait, you're going to have more available army supply for any particular fight, and you're going to really take away from the swarmy feeling that the Lingbane Hydra initially is meant to have and, you know, is meant to be able to play with as well. So we're kind of losing out on those possibilities and those, you know, chances and those options. 14 extra Lings producing through for the moment. We will see the other units just stepping across as well. Lings trying to make their way through, and they are going after this base once more. The Bane's going to protect. We're going to have enough to cancel this Nexus. Yes, we will. Comfortably so. And the Lurkiden and Hive on the way, so Reynor looking toward the tech switches and the tech progression. We'll keep it in this. Again, that is kind of the expected situation here, because, as mentioned, you're kind of playing to kind of, you know, playing the Hydras. The Lurkers are the next best thing that you get to. The problem is we're not quite ready to fight yet. The Lurkers are, you know, still a distance away, and that's why now Reynor's fight timing is looking good. This high ground base has been very cool for him. Rich Vest being gassed now gets jumped on though, and Reynor takes advantage of, you know, herO being across the other side of the map. So Reynor plays for the counterattack that will go very well. 13 probes, a few units getting caught up in that as well. Reynor doesn't lose too much in that process. Still needs to find a way to fight this army, and maybe on creep spread out, it's going to be the way. Storms are not brilliant. A lot of these Banes actually do get through. We do keep the High Templar alive. A couple of Storms available still on a High Templar that was full energy. I thought he was out of Storm, but he actually had a couple left over because, like I say, that one High Templar full energy did not stand out. Lurkers now morph in, so Reynor might just about have survived the Lurkers. But do we realistically have a way to kind of make these Lurkers good enough? I'm going to say I don't think so. He's only, you know, he's still got to get Lurker upgrades too, so we're not fully there in terms of Lurkers being as good as they could be. So that part of this is obviously, you know, not exactly ideal either. Portal Arc on High Templar moving through, the Mothership overhead. Coming around that left-hand side, and we look for the chance to move up into this left side base location. Archon's going to get their Extractor going down. We're just going to see the, I mean, the space is just going to be given up. I don't think Reynor can justify fighting it. He needs his Lurkers in front of where he's going to be defending, but he just was not ready at all. And again, this is just the remnants of him, you know, being in a struggling position. I mean, this is what you're looking for right now as herO moves down. Just start to drop the Storms, wants to try and Reynor to do what he can with these Lurkers. Those Storms obviously will two-shot Lurkers now, so if you drop 2 full Storms on the Lurkers, they will die. And obviously we mentioned a lot about the Storm duration, doing 110 damage total on the location you drop it on now. Again, it means maybe we're in a position where Lurkers need to try and unburrow and dodge away from a lot of those Storm positions. herO, the only reason he's not super steamrolling ahead is because Reynor did a great job denying that 5th base and kind of kept herO away from the clean, easy kind of solution. More Storms just dropping through. The Lurkers still sitting back and sitting tight as we are going to be seeing units start charging forward. The Zealots coming in. Time Warp comes down. Mothership is going to fire from above as well. Immortal Archon doing its thing. I don't think Reynor has enough to hold on, but it got a little bit closer than I thought initially. The supplies actually got kind of close for a few seconds. Then the Immortals got onto the Lurkers, and it really did come to. I don't think they can use it. It's never going to be used again. Or Terrans literally cannot ever play with against Storm. It's impossible. It's too good. There was no in between, and I feel like now that Storm is here in this current version, I think we found the in between because it's the takes that are extremes, right? You know, it either does nothing or it does everything still. Yeah, it's great. I think we've maybe landed on a version of Storm that feels reasonable. With, again, a lot of figuring out still to be done. With this still just being early stages, but yeah, the balance winding feels good for it. Psionic Drizzle, but it do be melting everything. Ruby Rock for game number 2 of this best of 5 in the top left-hand corner. The red Protoss player here is going to be herO, as we have in the bottom right-hand side. The blue Zerg player, Reynor, as we get straight into game number 2 of this best of 5. Let me take a couple moments to get ourselves set up here, as we have Hatch Gas and Pool coming on through. Gateway coming up, and get settled down and get going. Access building as well. Probably just obviously going to be sitting behind this mineral line a little bit. A couple of moments, taking some time, making it chill. Sorry guys, give me one sec. Sorry, heard a weird sound. Turns out, it's just Ellie. She's back home. She was just out, so I was like, why is there a weird sound? Who's in the house? Oh, it was just the dog. She was in fact returned. Alright, link speed is building up here. You get the Stalker, the Wolfgate, the Stargate, yada yada. Early game PvZ is doing its thing. As we get settled early. And yeah, a couple of things on the way through. That link speed coming about. And we take a few moments to get ourselves established in the early stages of Ruby Rock. Game number 2 of this best of 5. herO leading 1-0. Let's see the Adept gonna fire a couple of shots at Lings. We do see the Oracle is about to finish up the Warp Gate building by. Again, Hatch and the Spore coming up as well. So we got a lot of that on the way. Get a couple of drones and the Queen coming through as well. Let's just have the Adept is going to take the chance to shade about. The Stalker going to poke at the Overlord there and is going to be able to start doing some work. And just bring that a little bit low for the early few moments. Not bad, not bad. A few Zerglings will be there to try and fight back the other direction. They're going to come back into the center, just go after the Stalker. Just aim straight for that Overlord, which is going to go down with some pretty good ease. Just a nice little grab. We're going to see what our style composition here is going to be from Reynor eventually. I do think Lingbane Hydra is, like I say, the hot topic right now. It is the cool thing to be doing. It's just good. We've been seeing some good defense against it. It's making this PvZ matchup fun and interactive recently. As that's the Twilight and the Forge from herO. So we've got to see what herO wants to do as well. Stylistically speaking, he has obviously a little bit of choice himself. Look at herO making proper walls on new maps. Yeah, that is kind of crazy. I haven't really... You know what it is? It's lack of notice because it's just been normal, you know? We've not really had the herO moments. There's been a couple times he just didn't wall. That was maybe a little bit interesting, but for the grand scheme of things, it has just been him actually just doing proper walls. Yeah, it's a good point. Very well said. You see the couple of stages will try and come down. Dodges are pretty good. We do get one queen caught in that, but as well, the Oracle engine being used. The Adepts are going to shade to the main base, where maybe they do have some opportunity with one less queen here, but actually going to recall out. And yeah, there's that recall on Adepts. And anytime you're recalling Adepts, I said this a bit yesterday, you got to be a little bit kind of like wary of like, oh, why are we recalling the Adepts? Why are we so desperate to keep those alive rather than just going for some drones and shading them and just keeping me running around? And maybe it is you just put them in a bad position. Maybe it is, hey, I really want these Adepts alive because I'm going Resonating Glaives, and I am absolutely looking to put myself into a winning position in this game with a lot of Adepts hitting all at once. Now, Reynor has a Roach Run, so he finishes up a structure that's going to be extremely important for him here, as we just need these gas to come up and get some more gas mining going, and then we can afford us some Roaches, which, like I say, is going to be a big deal, because we do kind of want to get in a position eventually where we're going to be able to kind of, you know, have something proper against these Adepts. And right now, we don't have it. He's still droning. And I'm a little bit afraid, because more drones are not the direction we need to go in right here. Glaives is done. The thing is, the Adepts are not here immediately. As the Oracles move across the other side, the Lings try and move across the other side. The Oracles turn them around. Now some more Lings on the way up. I just don't know if we're going to have the lava to deal with this amount of Adepts. Roaches build, but the first three are on the way. I think Reynor's in some serious trouble. The Adepts just shade into open space, though, and it is a lot of Lings. Melee is so close to being done. If the melee upgrade was done a few seconds sooner, that would have been very nice. Instead, a lot of these Adepts end up just surviving. Into the main base they go as we start to jump around. Reynor needs to get a lot of units on the way right now and try and minimize damage taken during this, but it's not looking pretty to begin with. It's definitely not the start we were looking for, to say the least. We're going to see a few more of the Adepts coming back around. Resonating Glaives still active. Those Roaches are dropping. Queen in trouble. A few Zerglings coming about. Yeah, I think this is going to be a little bit of a tough one to crack as the Adepts go back the other way. And I think herO is glaving his way through to a 2-0 lead in this best of 5. A few Adepts still getting after the Roaches, still getting after these Queens. The drones transferring, but Reynor just caught unprepared for this game. And a good game is called. And herO will take game 2 of the BO5. Uh-oh. Let's get into game 3. As in the top right. Our red Zerg player is going to be Reynor. In the bottom left, our blue Protoss is herO. You get Ellie to cast, just put a monitor in their face, and based on their reaction we can guess what's happening. Yeah, you'll be able to guess whether there's food or not. That's pretty much the one thing she lets up. That's the one thing she lets people know. Am I eating Ellie food, or is Ellie eating water food? No, she's definitely eating my food. You guys do notice she never is here until I need to eat, and then she's always here. Might have accidentally trained that into her. Whoops. Your food is always Ellie's food. That's true. Overlord to the bottom left. Cybercore next coming through as the hatch gas pool comes up. And we just take a couple of moments early on Tourmaline to get set. Reynor down 0-2. Can he bring it back? Or was herO just truly looking a bit too sneaky and cheeky on this one? What's up, Soulman? Thank you so much for the 11-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Overlord will hide. Stalker will wait. I was gonna say that's a sentry. I was like, are we just gonna hallucinate to A, kill the Overlord, and then B, what are we gonna do from here? And it's 2 more gateways early from herO. maybe some pressure. I mean, Reynor will see with the Overlord those gates coming down. Or at the very least, one of those gates coming down. Now the Stargate. And a few Lings even stepping across the map to try and get a bit more info on this, so... Interesting sequence of events and a bit of a different way of doing the builds as usual from herO in these early moments. Three Adepts all at once as the Oracle will be on the way from herO following this, so I guess we're going to arrive with just a later Oracle, but a higher Adept count than you'd usually have for this point in the game, basically. Reynor is still prepping with the Spore Crawlers. He's going to get a Rotron ready too. That Ling, with Ling Speed, is going to get a probe. So it gets a nice little deny there for a little bit. As thank you, Growlung, for the 20-month resub on that Prime. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Appreciate so much for keeping on subbing. The Adepts commit. One of them getting caught by the Lings. The Queen's going to have to put a lot of the defense into this. As the Ling count is going down pretty swiftly. Reynor will start losing a couple of drones here. Now the Adepts recall. In range of the Queens, they should be away safely. And they do pull home as no defense on the third base. A few Adepts stepping back. Oracle, I have just been seen there by the Lings. I think Reynor's got a good idea of what's going on. And he's just droning, which I think is fine, as long as you then get a few units up to deal with the next wave of Adepts. Because obviously there's still been a high gateway count throughout this, so you're still got to expect to be able to deal with that at some point soon. Handful of Adepts warp in, we begin to shade across the map. Oracles head over to that far right hand side. Actually are committing here. This is perhaps where Reynor we find out how it's overdroned. So I think it's getting honestly a pretty good connection. Queen in the main base has to run for the Spore. Spore's going to do a lot of damage. Queen goes down. We do not kill an Oracle, unfortunately. Oh, Reynor gets 9 drones. I actually thought I think he was fortunate to kind of not lose the Oracle, like I say. Got 1 extra drone at the end there because of the Adept. That just survived. Reynor's still on an okay work count because he was kind of greedy heading into this, so I think overall he's probably looking at this and saying, I'm kind of fine, I'm kind of alright with where I've ended up, everything considered. Hallucination takes the chance to keep moving about. Templar Archive still building online. +1 and Blink in the production tabs currently. There's 5 Hydras coming up. +1 missiles, group spines, roach speed. A lot of good things on the way at the moment. Add that +1 and Blink on. Add that Storm on as well. I mean, like I say, herO making a very comfortable follow-up. But I think Reynor's been fine so far. Here's the difference from him, obviously. Roach speed finishing, getting a missile upgrade this game. He's going to be moving much more quickly in toward Lurkers more than likely. There's the Infestation Pit already coming down to potentially give us that Hive Tech. Reynor and herO both expand to the forward positions, and that's going to make this map very short from bases to bases. So that's going to be an interesting thing to keep our eyes on here. That really does reduce the distance you have to go to get from base to base, and I think that will have a big impact on how some of these upcoming trades end up going. I mean, yeah, already a good amount of units on the map for each side, so I don't think anyone's going to kind of get the bullying kind of advantage here, but Yeah, it's one thing for us to definitely watch for. Without Storm done and no splash damage, it's actually not a bad moment for the Hydras and Lings. Just poke about, they get a few kills. No speed though, so they've got to be careful about trying to get away. I don't mind that. That was a good little poke in, see if there's an opportunity, see if we can kind of get a little bit of something done without being overly committed. And then Reynor stepping back without, like I say, getting himself too caught up or too committed here overall. Putting himself into a bit of a better position. And just a lot of everything else still coming through. We have herO positioning nicely right now. Just gonna see the Stalker's gonna join up. A couple of Storms gonna go down. herO is gonna get jumped on though. A couple more Storms. Reynor's deciding to fight through this. No more Storms remain. The Archon's Morphin are gonna be in trouble. And the Lings are gonna get on top of those Stalkers as we chase them back. The tail end of this fight is probably gonna be very positive for Reynor, getting some extra kills at the end. Now some more Lurkers morphing in. We had the +2 missiles coming up. Seismic Spines on the way through. And we get that going as the extra Lurkers will be finishing very shortly. The Lings, Hydras, gathering right now as we settle ourselves in toward the bottom left side. Lurkers for up, Stalkers get bullied back. A couple of Oracles gather together. We'll have ourselves a chance to jump onto a couple of these structures already here. As we see another Storm coming down, the Lings and Lurkers gather up together. We got the Fleet Beacon, we got the Stargate building. A couple of those Zealots coming up still. As the Lurkers being here now is huge. I think the momentum that Reynor has in this game is going to be massive, and this short distance base to base now is definitely going to benefit the Lurkers, especially because you end up in a very choked up area. So how does herO get in position to really fight against this? I don't know if he does is the realistic answer right now. Got the blinks forwards, gets a couple of Lurkers, but we're still so close to just being, well, we are sieging this base, essentially. That High Templar goes down as well as it leaks on in. Man, those other two High Templars are super low. I'm scared for them. Those cannons will stop the Lings from doing too much, but the supply is looking good for Reynor, and the bounce back in the series maybe coming online. Mothership will start from herO. There's a lot that herO's on his way to that he's just not ready for just yet. A couple Storms coming down now, going to be part of this. Just getting through. The Stalker's getting hit hard. The Archon gonna get jumped on as well. The High Templar does drop a Storm. We're instantly splitting from it. We actually burrow our Lurker in it, but not sure it's going to matter. The fourth base goes down, and Reynor is going to continue through. There's few Stalkers still going down. The Cannon, the Pylon, everything just dropping. A few more Zealots still trying to get on forward here. As you get rid of the Pylon, the Cannon, they keep on pushing through. And I really feel like Reynor has got this game in the bag. I don't think the Mothership's going to change much here. Especially in a game where you currently have 0 High Templar. We warp in 2 to try and keep ourselves kind of alive and afloat. And that really is the least we could be doing right now is... Yeah, those Lurkers burrow up. The Zealots are going to step forward. And just want to try and step in toward that natural expansion. We see the Pylon already going down there. The Lings are going to keep busy. The High Templar are still waiting for their Storm energy. But the Archon falls. The High Templar are dead. Oh, the save with the Mothership as they comes in with the cloaking. Now a Time Warp, and now the High Templar have the energy to Storm. Funnily enough, they're still going to die in that corner. It was a slick save for a moment, but only for that. GG's, and it is going to might like quite a bit, to be honest, so let's see what goes on. As in the bottom left side, we're going to have the red Protoss player had a 2-0 lead. Going to let that slip away by a map so far. It is going to be herO. As in the top right, Abluza is Reynor. Yes, guys, I did in fact destroy my sandwich during the break. Look, if Reynor's going to give me the opportunity to finish my lunch, I'm going to finish my lunch, you know? I'm not going to hold back. I see the chance, I'll take it. I was just going to go for a couple bites. Reynor was like, here, eat the whole thing. Thank you, Reynor. Appreciate it, buddy. Game 4 on Celestial. Let's say a funky map with the worker-only kind of walking pathway. I swear Reynor loses the first 2 games of any series more than anyone else. You know, there is maybe something to that as well, where like Reynor is a very vibes-based player, and him picking up the vibes in games 1 and 2. He's like, okay, cool. Now I adapt, right? Now I see what's coming. He's maybe throwing some trickery at me. I know kind of the level of safety I need to play with as well from this point onwards. So yeah, it's I definitely think it's one of those things that kind of adds up over time and does make sense. Hatch, gas and pool coming through. Stop playing on Reynor. Yeah, I will show you guys the DMs after if you really if you really need to see it. Look, I'll defend myself. I'll defend myself if necessary. Probe is going to be coming about. The drone is going to be there to turn it back around the other direction. We see the hatch, gas, and pool all coming through. So a lot of that coming online. Again, Cybercore is already producing. The Nexus coming up. We have ourselves the Queen, the Lings, the drone coming over. Now, Celestial, they've definitely expecting it to take a little bit of setup time in these early stages. Adept is getting Chrono Boost and Shade. The Stargate building. So we get a lot of that coming online as well. Just see the couple of Lings going in after the probe here. That probe is going to have to take a moment to step back, go the other side. And Ling speed very close to finishing. I actually do like this map for Reynor to take another game back in this series, to be honest. I'm kind of feeling it. I think we might have a full 5-game series here. Second time today already would be huge. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Maybe I'm just getting a bit too excited. It's going to be a Void Ray out of herO. He has gone into a couple of quirkier build orders the last couple of games. Obviously, Void Ray is not super wild. It does remove vision on the map and then lets you kind of do a few different things behind it, whether you just play normally and scare the Zerg, or if you actually try and take advantage of that lack of vision and scouting. Either way is a pretty, pretty fine way to kind of set up and do things. Void Ray plays a good cleanup. We have the Oracle and the Warp Gate come through. And yeah, nothing weird. Just Twilight Forge behind this and just getting the Void Ray out to play a bit of, like I say, a bit of sneakery, but nothing really actually being truly done with anything just yet. It's a good amount of drones to get brought online as well. So getting those all up. I genuinely thought he just activated Pulsar Beam to kill the critter. I saw him, he activated Pulsar Beam before revelating, and I was like, oh my god, he's gonna activate it to kill it, like, what a monster! No, just one of the creep teamers just did it, and it just looked like a weird ordering of things. Obviously works out fine, no problem. Roadrunner and drones continue through. The couple of queens are going to be there to push the Adept around a little more. Extra gates building, the +1 attack coming through. Obviously the Ling's knocked down a set of rocks there and opened up this space between the bases. Hero's going to become a very comfortable corner kind of 4-base Zerg. I do think that's also a very comfortable kind of 4-base Protoss setup you can get to as well, so maybe that's an issue if herO just decides to play super late and Reynor doesn't necessarily want to go there. He might not be able to do much about it. I think this map is definitely not a Lingbane Hydra kind of map, right? It is one thing I definitely note, and we obviously see Reynor kind of agreeing with that as well in these early stages. Blink is going to be the follow-up from herO. He gets 4 more gates. And there's a Spire from Reynor. Ooh, that's a big shift to kind of mix up. Mentioned we might see it in the series, but I was thinking more as kind of a follow-up to the Lingbane Hydra and switching out. It's kind of just a Spire off of not really much else going on, to be honest. Lings, a couple of overlords all on the way through. Get that +1 missile upgrade starting Reynor, so look for a follow-up here. This is scary, though. He was just walking up to his 4th base, and he could not be less prepared, to say the least. He's got a few Zerglings. Queen's out of position. Oh, okay, had a few more Lings on the other side, and actually it's herO who's maybe caught. Reynor forces the recall and turns that into a very comfortable defense. And Blink halfway done, +2 attack still coming up. Add on that Nexus. A few Zerglings still peeling around one way then the other. As the +1 missiles and roach speed will be coming by. So we're going to obviously have roaches on the ground. And we'll see how many mutas we make. And if we want to keep on making mutas, probably not. This is more like a 5 to 15, you know, big range, but 5 to 15 muta kind of game. And then just kind of building a lot of roachling on the ground. Otherwise, probably more towards 5 mutas, I think. I don't think we're looking to actually get into a super high number. Just a few to force some pressure, just a few to force some units other ways. Right now, got to build some units to make sure that we don't let this Stalker push get too much done. So we kind of got to get on top of that ASAP here, as the Void Ray setting up for the moment. Lings gonna run into that stasis. Wow, that pullback saved the rest of those Lings getting caught in that. That could have been much deadlier, much more problematic than it turned out to be. +1 and missiles and the roach speed then is going to be done soon. So Reynor getting a lot of his kind of fun stuff that he's been building up for. The infestation pit's halfway done. The overlords are still popping out. So a lot of the tech is coming through here from Reynor. Again, he built those 3 mutas. Pretty minimal kind of investment. And he actually did go up to 5. So 5 was like the minimum that you can build here typically. He's going to have those 5. They will hit. And like I say, if they can cause a big overreaction, then brilliant. The more you react here to those mutas, the better it is, because it's not a lot of mutas. So realistically, like, you don't need to do much. And realistically, if this is just a little Stalker Warp in here and we already have cannons in place, that's probably more than good enough, to be honest. 2 meters go down. The Oracle's still lurking in the center. We're going to throw down the Fleet Beacon. We're actually going to make a Phoenix. I don't hate just one Phoenix, but like, let's again not make too many. The more that you build into things that aren't going to help you on the ground, the more that Reynor can capitalize on that as he goes Hydrogen and Hive. And only feel as though this is probably looking to be Lurkers eventually as well. So Hydrogen is done. If you start the Lurker Den now, it'd be done around the time of Hive. You can get Seismic Spines or so started nice and quickly. Phoenix is just going to stop these mutas from lurking in the corner, which is why I think 1 Phoenix is a very reasonable investment. The Phoenix very nearly goes down. Reynor plays a bit of micro backward. And if you're wondering who has the ping advantage, nobody. They're both in Korea, so it's actually an evenly pinged game. As Phoenix Muta is one of those things where ping does have a little bit more of a, typically does have a little bit more of a factor. But yeah, in this case, it doesn't happen. Oh my god, that Stasis Sword doesn't catch any of those units, which is very unfortunate because they ran right by it. Reynor shoving, throws a couple of biles down. At the end of the day, he's mostly on his way through. I mean, he's on his way through to those lurkers. That's going to be the main point of contest for him. Is is he a little bit too far forward here? The blink forward from herO. And Reynor turns into the blink and says, well, if you blinked into me, I can actually take the fight. It's a very funky trade. We're going to finish off that Archon. The only problem is retreating becomes expensive. Typically, as you retreat here as a Zerg, you lose a ton of extra units. Now, this does free up supply for Hydras to produce, but maybe a bit more supply freeing than what Reynor was originally aiming for. That's a massive wall-off that's going to be cleaned out here. Do we know about it? It looks as though herO's pulling back for it. I think he's going to get there and play defense, and that's huge because if those Lings got in, they have access to the natural, the main, the in-base. There's no stopping them. There's, pure, unfiltered chaos that you're basically going to have coming around. +3 attack upgrade coming by. The Mothership is the next step from herO here as well. But Reynor is getting through to the Lurkers, and he's getting to the Lurkers in a comfortable position. That was not true in the earlier game he played Lurkers, and obviously the last game, yes, he was, but the game before that he got to Lurkers as he was already kind of dying. Well, positioning the Lurkers until the Stalkers walk right into reach, and then make sure that he gets the absolute maximum value there. So it makes it look as though he's not actually ready yet. Stalkers step in, we get a lot of extra shots off, and we actually really hurt a lot of those Stalkers. That's damage beyond the shields as well, and now we actually are going to get in with some Ling Roach over on that other side. Going to open the door to get through here. Lurkers burrowing, doing a good job, hitting these Stalkers nicely. I just want to try and get down and away. And again, keep pushing this army. We're going to have that base on the top side getting engaged onto. The Zealots getting there quickly. But it is going to be the counter-attacker Reynor that also finds a good amount of damage. Yeah, we're relying on the lurkers right now. Here on the other side of the map, I mean, he loses like every probe on this mineral line. We're going to pop the cloaking. The Roach will run up to the main base just to try and get something more out of this right now. Mothership is just going to be a big part of this in general. Wants to get to the rest of the army, which is still fighting on the other side. Reynor's supply has been dropping, and it does seem to be going the wrong direction for him as he's just gone a bit too caught up. Losing that base is a little scary, especially as the herO actually has the bottom right 5th base still coming online as well. High Templar coming about. Just going to be seeing the +2 melee, the lurkers still building up. But can Reynor get back to what he needs right now? It looks as though herO is likely going to find himself in a really good position and maybe one that can even put this game in his favor shortly. Got a couple lurkers coming out, the +2 melee coming through. Spines, lurkers, good places. Buying time. Reynor just needs as much time as he can to try and get built back up. Yeah, I love these counters. A moment in the game where herO needs to make sure he can kind of deal with this and not, worry too much about being back at home. Warping the Zealots will reduce the numbers. We're going to recall into the in-base with the Mothership as herO makes a move. He's been loving some Mothership recalls. He did one against Sterile in the Maestros of the game. That's a big one as well. In-base expand deleted. And now we're going to recall home defensively as we are going to get to the base that the Lings were on. They didn't get close to killing it, but they did have a good time there for the most part. So, not a bad few moments as we are going to see the couple of lurker shots are there. The Archon gets pushed back so far. Extra Hydras, extra lurkers coming through, +3 missiles, +2 melee. A lot of stuff coming up as the Zealot Archon gathers together. The few Stalkers join in as well. Coming back around the other side. Seeing the lurkers burrow up. The Hydras are going to be there. I mean, Reynor's surviving, which is one thing, but then he needs to keep doing work on the other side. He needs to get through some of these other places. Otherwise, he's not going to be good enough overall. Let's get down there. 5 probes being picked away at. I mean, like I say, it was the right ideas, the right things to be doing. Reynor in a very awkward position. Like I say, this is necessary damage. It's just so pinned back base-wise. The fact there's still units like in his in-base expand is terrifying as well. He got a High Templar there at least, so still finding a little bit more value too. As we're going to come back up here, so again, the kind of attack through the in-base and into the main. And once more, just another sick play from herO. And Reynor can't get in position to deal with it. Like, he's got to get up his own ramp, which is obviously a horrible position. Lurkers over here will burrow and I think should be able to deal with those Zealots. But it's already been the cost of a ton of drones. And now herO clearing up the Hydras very comfortably. It's really going to be down to the Lurkers, which are going to have to hold their own. I mean, honestly, the supply comes back quite evenly. herO does have a lot of money to spend. Do we have detection? No. The cloaking is good. There's the Overseer, and we are actually on a lot of Lurkers there. herO just pretending there was never going to be a chance of an Overseer showing up or anything is kind of a huge deal. Quarter stepping over. Let's see those few Zealots gathering as well. But still active, just seeing the Tempest continuing through, the shields coming up, the extra Zealots are on the way. We're not going to be having, I mean, the eventual defense from Reynor may happen, but man, it's been expensive, like I say. They've got a Void Ray hitting your Hive right now. I just don't know how much we really recuperate from this. Falling Lurker trying to get back together here. Let's just have Mothership going to go and kill drones. It's also an effective attack against workers, so that's kind of working right now as well. These Queens might want to drop a Transfuse or 2 on this hatchery just to keep it back healthy. This Mothership's just an issue. Like, this Mothership's just lingering between bases, and Reynor can't get rid of it. And as such, it's been able to recall and just cause absolute mayhem, which is a little bit silly. Just had no real way to kind of, like I say, answer it as the Mothership here with a couple of units showing up. First Tempest shows up as well. I mean, at this point, Reynor is not really rich enough to go Spire, but maybe he just has to. Things come through, those Archons join up. Couple of shots. Tempest already getting into those lurkers there initially. Timeball coming down as well, helping also, as we just have ourselves the attack continuing forward, and it looks like herO's going to make a bid for this base. Reynor's got supply, but I don't really know where it is. I presume some of it's that supply up in the production tab still. Hydras and Vipers would be a great addition, but we're just not there with them yet. They're not on the field right now. herO doesn't have the supply to hold on. herO pulling his way through. He's going to be seeing the lurkers continue to ping their way through this, that, and whatever. This really is GG kind of territory. herO takes it 3-1. Yep, knocking down Reynor here and advancing to the semi-finals.